listened to that song nonstop yesterday. It was the perfect weather for it. The song even has rain in it in the very beginning. The band Darko, featuring Tom Barber of Chelsea Grin. He collaborated with Marcus Bridge of North Lane for that cover. Landslide, kicking off our Friday here together. It's August 14th, 2026, and I'm Peaches. If you want to get a hold of me, you can, 208-535-1015. Sometimes if I don't answer the phone, try calling the Z103 number, because I go between the two studios. I had the mailman in Pocatello hit me up yesterday. He made me laugh because he was like, dude, you know how hard it is to track you down now? He's always listening. He's an awesome listener. And we chatted for a brief bit during yesterday's afternoon show. So, yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, you can either get a hold of me via the K-Bear phone number or the Z103 number. Either way, I'm here. I'm here. And sorry it wasn't that crazy of a track to kick off the afternoon show. It was just a beautiful song, a beautiful cover, in my opinion, that I was like, you know what? We need to kick off the Friday show with it. So there's that. It's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101, and we'll be right back. You know what? I agree with Anne Hathaway on this one. I saw this post talking about how she says movies featuring a dog dying should automatically receive an R rating. It doesn't matter if anybody curses. It doesn't matter if there's violence. If a dog dies, R-rated, or at least there should be that warning. At least I think that's what they've been doing with a few of those films as of late. Like, what was that one with Channing Tatum? Was it just called Dog? Didn't they say in the trailer for that movie, like, oh, the dog does not die, FYI, or something like that? It might have been for that Finnish John Wick movie. What was that one again? I watched that movie and I forgot the title. Finnish John Wick movie. I'm sure it'll pop up. Yeah, Sisu. I think for that one, it said, like, the dog does not die at all. Just, there you go. Please watch it. Sisu is a brutal movie. It's fun. If you're into action, it's about this Finnish John Wick. It follows this silent, legendary ex-commando gold prospector. He just unleashes violence on this Nazi platoon after they try to steal his gold. At one point, he shoves a knife in the dude's head. It's quite crazy. If you want a dumb, violent action movie, I highly recommend Sisu. Also, the dog doesn't die. Just a spoiler alert right there for you. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. That's so funny. This story's popping up because my friends and I were just talking about potentially going to San Diego. My friend Matt is trying to plan this whole all-day hike adventure close to La Jolla. We've been down there before. And we've taken pictures close to the seals. We haven't gotten too close. Well, sea lions, I should say. Technically, sea lions. They're pretty violent creatures. Or they're pretty territorial, I should say. So if you get too close, they could unleash their wrath on you. But I was reading that story again about this 18-year-old kid that is facing prison time because he kicked a sea lion down there. He was pretending to be a UFC fighter. Got real close to the sea lion and just kicked it. I see a still shot of the video. The sea lion is just sitting there, and this dude full-on front kick right to the snout. I'm sure the sea lion probably thought it was a gust of wind. Animals are pretty tough, especially sea lions. That sea lion could have torn that dude up. They're no joke, man. Don't get close to them. Wasn't there another video recently about the sea lions going crazy? Was it up in San Francisco? I think there was. There was a whole video of, like, these people on the beach, and the sea lions came up and started attacking back. It's because they've heard through the grapevine, through the other sea lions down in San Diego, that, one of them got kicked in the face by this stupid 18-year-old pretending to be a UFC fighter. Even a UFC fighter would not mess with a sea lion. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. NFL players are dumb. Football players as a whole, quite dumb, Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua. He was at this white party, Michael Rubin's famous white party. When he spotted Snoop Dogg, he turned to look for his teammate Davante Adams, walked directly into a glass window. Hard enough that he ended up bleeding from his face. And Puka says 3 other people had already walked into the exact same window. I'm assuming all of them were NFL players, which honestly, it makes me feel a little bit better for him, but I guess somebody cleaned the window a little too well, and he just walked right into it. Sure enough, he's going to be okay for the upcoming season, because I'm hoping I'm hoping that the Rams can make a Super Bowl run. I'm hoping Aaron Donald will join the team, the best defense in the league. Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett. You got Puka healthy, trying to catch those balls out there on the field, as long as he's not walking into windows. I was going to save this for the Shot Clock Sports Update coming up in a few, but it was just too funny to make fun of on its own. Here's Kim Dracula, molecular conversion on Peach's Pit Party. The Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels was a great college player. He won the Heisman Trophy, broke NCAA records while playing at LSU, and now he's raising a stink because LSU is allowing their five-star quarterback, or a five-star cornerback, DJ Pickett, to wear uniform number 5, which is the number Daniels wore. While LSU does not retire numbers, Daniels said he believed his number would be protected. So now he's deeply disappointed, feels profoundly disrespected, has gone so far as to send a cease and desist letter to the university, instructing them to stop using his name, image, and likeness. He has also demanded that LSU return its copy of Daniels' 2023 Heisman Trophy. Insiders say his temper tantrum is going nowhere. Surprise, surprise. The number 5 will continue to be used, and LSU has no intention of sending Daniels the trophy. Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson has a very lofty goal for his team as he starts his second season in charge. Johnson told The Athletic, "You've got 31 other teams coming to training camp saying our goal is to win the Super Bowl. I want more than that. I want to have the highest scoring offense ever, which happens to be the 2013 Denver Broncos. I know how many points per game they scored, 37.9, and I want to surpass them. I want shutouts, blowouts." Johnson, who served as the offensive coordinator and play caller of the Detroit Lions from 2022 to 2024, led the Bears to an 11-6 record and an NFC North title during his first season as head coach. And we talked about this previously, but I figured I would talk about it again anyway for those who missed it. A high school football player in Arkansas escaped harm and potential disaster after practicing for an entire hour with a 2-foot venomous cottonmouth snake in his helmet. Luckily, the cottonmouth didn't strike, was flushed out in the middle of practice. The player was able to get back on the practice field with a new snake-free helmet, of course, flushed out, which is so funny because we talked about that previously. I mean, could you imagine the coach and whatever other staff they have trying to get the snake out of the helmet with a garden hose, trying to spray it out of there? That's your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. You know what? You know how I said NFL players be dumb? People overall are also dumb, right? We spent days, or they have not we, but people, tons of people out there should know, hey, don't look directly at a solar eclipse without proper eye protection, right? The eclipse happens, and now Google searches for "my eyes hurt" absolutely explode. In the UK, searches for phrases like "eyes hurt" jumped by more than 800% after the eclipse. Hospitals also started seeing people concerned about possible eye injuries after watching the eclipse without proper protection. And I'm not trying to make fun of somebody who actually injured their eyes. That's obviously serious, but also that's entirely your fault. I'm talking about the people who were warned over and over and over again and apparently went, yeah, you know what? But I want to see it with my own vision. My own 2020 vision. Dummies. Here's Hollywood Undead. Feels like home. K-Bear 101. We started off by saying, players are dumb. Then it changed to people be dumb. Now it's people be crazy. This woman in Georgia, innocently out for a morning jog. Was it she the one that said good morning to a guy she passed, or the guy tried saying good morning? Let me see here. Maniac allegedly tried to run over jogger 3 times after she wished him good morning. So it was her just nicely saying good morning. Apparently, he did not appreciate the greeting. So he wasn't driving by. Let me redo this. This is becoming confusing. This woman in Georgia, she was out for a morning jog. She said good morning to a guy she passed. He didn't appreciate the greeting, so he got into his car and tried to run her over 3 times. She managed to get away, thankfully. Otherwise, I would not be laughing. She hid behind a dumpster while she called 911. You know how frightening that would be? The guy, the idiot, hit a parked car, then hit a pole. And we're talking about a woman who apparently did nothing except say, good morning. Imagine being that person. You would never want to speak to anybody ever again. And imagine being the guy who owns the parked car, having to hear that story. Or the 911 operator that had to hear the whole scenario play out as she's hidden behind a dumpster. Well, I guess we're continuing with the theme of people be dumb. This guy in Florida. Oh, Florida man story. Cool. He paid $150 for the opportunity to get his picture taken with a leopard. And as you would expect, the leopard did what leopards do. It mauled him. This man voluntarily paid money, walked into a situation involving a large predator with giant teeth and claws, got close enough for the leopard to say, oh, we're doing this, okay. And, just made mincemeat out of the guy. The leopard just being a leopard, all right? Florida man, I'm tired of these people be dumb stories, to be quite honest with you. It's just showing you the state of the world, I see Facebook comments that make me actually shake my head sometimes, and it's quite concerning how many morons we got out there. Here's Papa Roach, see you in hell. Well, I have two different Spider-Man music beds to choose from. I could do the super annoying one from this particular 8-bit Spider-Man video game. Or I could do I'll do my favorite. I'll do the Spider-Man pizza delivery music. People have been rediscovering the voice acting in those games, by the way. Like, they've gone back and revisited those games and have heard the voice actors, and they sound horrible. Like, you just gotta watch those videos for yourself, man, all right? But speaking of Spider-Man, the reason why I'm playing this music bed specifically is because there's this movie theater in British Columbia that was supposed to get the official posters for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but there was a shipping problem. So one of the employees was told, hey, can you just draw one? Was he even told that? Or was he like, oh, now it's my time to shine? He hand drew a Spider-Man poster, put it up in the theater, and, well, I believe his mom, shared a picture of her son and the Spider-Man poster. It's Spoderman, the viral meme. The movie poster, the whole post has gone completely viral. People are actually asking the theater to keep the homemade poster instead of replacing it with the official one. I love that, because you've got Sony spending millions of dollars promoting a Spider-Man movie. Then one theater employee grabs, some paper. This music bed's so distracting. One movie theater employee grabs some paper and a marker and goes, I got this. I'm hoping this launches his art career, without a doubt. Remember that guy in Florida that was blocking the flock camera? Or he was blocking this one particular flock camera in his neighborhood with a 12-foot pool skimmer because he doesn't like them? Apparently, Google AI decided to join the flock camera conversation. It got completely duped by a joke on the internet. This is why you should not trust Google AI. Google's AI search results were telling people that flock cameras contained up to 5 grams of gold and as much as 23 pounds of copper. There's just one tiny problem. The entire camera weighs about 3 pounds. So according to Google, this 3-pound camera somehow contains up to 23 pounds of copper. The whole thing started because people online were joking that flock cameras were secretly packed with those valuable metals, encouraging people to tear them apart for the scrap value. Google's AI apparently couldn't tell the difference between a joke and an actual technical specification, repeated it like it was fact. And there's probably going to be those people that steal catalytic converters down there, believing that rumor, destroying the flock cameras, which my catalytic converter was stolen at one point. I've talked about that story. I was parked outside my ex's house, and I thought I could get away with it, sleeping over at her place. And then, of course, the next morning, I get in my car to try to leave her house, like at 5 a.m., to get to my parents' place. I tried to start the car, like it was like a Vin Diesel moment. Family, Yeah, I had to call my dad, say, hey, there's something wrong with my car. And he goes, where are you? You're not outside. I'm at my ex's place. And then, of course, he gave me a full-on lecture and all of that. Oh, that was a fun time. Shout out 2020. That throwback. Here's Pierce the Veil. So far, so fake on K-Bear 101. K-Bear 101, I think this is the best fashion brand of all time. Do you agree with me? I need you to hear this, all right? Zendaya showed up to the premiere of The Odyssey wearing this absolutely ridiculous white gown with these huge feathered wings. It looks incredible, this whole thing, right? Then somebody asked her who her stylist was, or who asked, what stylist made it. And she said, Maturi Fecales, or something like that. It just sounded like I casted a Harry Potter spell saying that. Maturi Fecales. All of a sudden, everything in here starts floating. Well, I guess that's supposedly French for fecal matter. Yeah, Zendaya's stylist chose this brand. No, we've got the perfect dress for tonight. It's from Fecal Matter. Her stylist chose that brand. The weirdest part, this isn't some joke brand either. Like this is a legit high-end fashion house. They've dressed Lady Gaga, Demi Moore, Sarah Paulson. They're showing at Paris Fashion Week. The designers actually chose the name because they wanted to challenge the fashion industry's obsession with excess and waste. So I think that's great. Just cover everybody in Fecal Matter, huh? Why not? If I was an actress, cover me in Fecal Matter. Make that the title of this podcast for this afternoon show. What's a hobby that used to be cheap and fun until influencers found it and completely ruined the pricing for everyone else? The first one that comes to my mind, as well as everyone else's probably, is collecting Pokemon cards. I mean, you see all those scalpers now, all those videos online of people at these card conventions trying to buy and sell these Pokemon cards for thousands of dollars. The lead singer of Fame on Fire, Brian Kuznets, I need to interview him again and talk to him about this because he has this. I found out through just scrolling Instagram reels that he has this Pokemon card collection account where he does those kinds of videos where he interacts with people trying to buy and sell Pokemon cards. He goes to all these conventions, and no joke, I mean, they're going for thousands upon thousands. That's probably helping him stay afloat big time. I know it's tough out there to make money as a musician, but that's a crazy side hustle to all of a sudden just, start selling Pokemon cards on the side. I mean, good for him, though. His channel, Bootlegs, and so I need to ask him what his channel name is, or I need to look it up and forget it. Never mind. Here's what In This Moment, Crawl. And I'll make sure to get Brian on the show at some point again here soon. Kind of sad that the Queens of the Stone Age people didn't reach out back to us. We called the Queens of the Stone Age complaint line on a previous noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. And we left them a nice little voicemail saying their latest single we can't really play on the air because it's too wussy of a track. Nobody called us back and said, sorry, here we're working on something heavier just for you guys. What the heck, Queens of the Stone Age. Where was I going with this? I wanted to talk about something else, but now my mind just went to Queens of the Stone Age. Well, if you can find, I'm sure you can listen to that previous noon hour of Madness and Mayhem wherever you get your podcasts. Victor is now in charge of getting all the noon hours available on demand on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. You can also find them at riverbendmediagroup.com. This band is going to be in Idaho Falls September 23rd. We gave away tickets for it. I'm sure we will in the near future again. Here's Theory of a Dead Man. Winnebago on K-Barrel 101. Okay, I found out what I was going to talk about on that last break. Yesterday, I talked about rock radio just overall sucking because they like to get rid of parts where the vocalist screams. I wanted to play the new Virtue single, The End, but they completely cut out the heavy part where Tyler's screaming. I'm like, I can't just play this. We don't do that kind of crap around here on K-Bear. Of course not. We gotta go crazy. And there's this one guy that keeps commenting on Victor's stuff, saying, why don't you guys play more Amon Amarth, Exhumed, all of this, typical classic metalhead behavior. Why don't you stop playing today's stuff? Play some of the old stuff, huh? Well, I tried playing Amon Amarth and then Suffocation yesterday. If you were tuned in yesterday and you were listening to that Suffocation track, and you probably heard it all of a sudden just go to the next song, that's because I was sitting in the studio. Victor calls me, and he goes, hey, we're trying to adjust the audio processing. Why are you playing back-to-back death metal? And I'm like, well, a listener requested it. Sort of. And he's like, could you throw on I Prevail and just skip and go to that track? I'm like, okay, sounds good. I know the listeners will be mad if they're enjoying this Suffocation track. But I listened to K-Bear yesterday. It sounded amazing. Have you listened to us via the website too, or the app? I listened to us via the website not that long ago. It sounds amazing. kbear.fm. If you're outside the Eastern Idaho area and you want to stream us, or even if you're in the Eastern Idaho area and you want to stream us and you're not by a radio, you want to listen to us, you're not by a radio, you can always stream us via the app or at kbear.fm. Earlier today, we were trying to convince everybody to come out to the Madison County Fairgrounds to cheer on our very own Maddie Kidd sacrificing her old Subaru for the crazy figure eight car races. I believe it's already spray painted. There's going to be a bunch of K-Bear stickers all over the back of it. It'll be pretty obvious if you decide to attend and you see the car. It'll be pretty obvious it's Maddie, I think. She likes to stand out, like me at a concert, Except I, for the most part, don't necessarily like to stand out. I just do. You'll just see my head walking across. I'm pretty sure if you see me tonight, you'll see me before I see you, kind of thing. Like, feel free to go, like, hey, Peaches or whatever. And I'll make sure to, wave back or something. I'm sure we're all going to be in one section or something like that. We're all going to be cheering Maddie on. Hopefully she does better than Victor, and that's not that hard to do because apparently Victor, when he raced in the crazy figure eight car races in the past, he just did one turn, went right into the mud, and then he was done. So, yeah, if you've got nothing going on tonight, make your way out to the Madison County Fairgrounds, the crazy figure eight car races. We gave away all of our passes. Tickets are like $10 to buy. Come on, support Maddie. Let's do this. Here's Skillet, Scream. So there is a fire station in D.C. that had a little bit of a situation Wednesday morning. Somebody left an electronic device, let's call it that, with exposed wires outside the station. So police shut down part of Wisconsin Avenue, brought in the bomb squad, and had everyone clear out while they figured out what it was. Nearly 2 hours later, they finally figured it out. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't a dangerous device. It was something else, if you catch my drift, huh? That's it. Imagine being the person on the bomb squad who has to walk over, take one look at this thing, go, and, I think I've seen these before. I've been to that particular novelty store in the past. Well, the roads reopened around 9. Police are still trying to figure out who left it there. Oh man, could you imagine being that person who actually did leave it there, and your novelty item is just exposed to the public like that? I wouldn't go out into the public and say that's mine. That's mine. That is today's What the Headline right here on K-Barrel 101. Every year we do the Eastern Idaho State Fair food taste testing event, and for the past 3 years, I have been at the dessert table, and I do not want to be at the dessert table because I do not want nonstop chocolate, ice cream, whatever other treats they might have. I want to have the actual fair food itself. So this year, I will be skipping it because I'm also trying my best to lose the weight. I'm hoping Sunday I weigh myself in the morning, and I see 348, 349 on the scale because that will mark 50 pounds I have lost in total. And this week hasn't been the best. I've consumed not that many calories, though. I haven't really exercised the way that I wanted to this week. I'm definitely going to go all out tomorrow morning at the gym and really get my conditioning in and cardio, playing basketball. So, yeah, I do not want to be placed at the dessert table again this year. And also, I think it's happening. I think that fair food taste testing event is happening when I'm in California seeing my family and friends. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a whole bunch of stuff talking about how ridiculous state fair food is. There's Parmesan ice cream at the Iowa State Fair. Caviar and chicken nuggets also at the Iowa State Fair. Deep fried ranch, the Wisconsin State Fair. I mean, that's just full-on American right there. Imagine the World Cup fans from international places coming to America, going to the Wisconsin State Fair, just seeing deep fried ranch being served. That's absolutely insane. Anyway, let's move on from this. Let's play some Sublime here, huh? Until the sun explodes. It's back to school time. What's something from school that sticks with you to this day? Mine has to be the preposition song. About, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, at, atop. That's all the A's we did. And I could keep going, but I really don't want to bore you with that. What's something from school that sticks with you to this day? The words to a poem you had to memorize. Your locker combination. What was my locker combo? Do I remember that from 6th grade? Because I ingrained that in my head. No, I don't think I do. That's such a long time ago now. The smell of the cafeteria, the football field. My former high school basketball coach is now the principal of my old middle school. And I kind of want to go back at the end of when I go back home and go see him and all of that. Me and him, we had this rocky relationship. We talked about this on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, talking about making amends with people that you've had bad times with in the past, and I don't really want to have a grudge with this guy anymore. So I might go up to him and say, "Hey, it's been a while. I'm now a radio DJ in East Idaho. Appreciate you, getting me on the team and all of that back in the day." And we'll see how he reacts. I'm trying to Be nicer to those, not have any more grudges anymore. I'm tired of it, Why carry that extra weight around? We're ending the show with some positivity here for the week, huh? If you have this long-going feud with somebody over something mundane, let it go, man. Reach out to them, apologize on your behalf. If they don't, they'll just look like the smaller person. Like we talked about it on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, that me and my first ever girlfriend broke up in 2017. 2 years later, 2019, her father passes away. And I decided, you know what? It's been long enough. I'll send her and the family some flowers and say, hey, I'm so sorry for your loss, because I knew her dad was her best friend. Sure enough, the flowers arrived that next day. I spent like $50 on this bouquet. I get a text. Did you send us flowers? Yeah, I did. Hopefully you like them. And then she just went off, like talking about how you should have saved us the turmoil, kept those to yourself, blah, 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 blah. My dad didn't like you towards the end or something like that. And I just deleted her number right then and there. And I hope she remembers that for the rest of her life, that I tried to do something nice for her. And then she decided to yell at me 2 years later, But she definitely was going through a lot, losing her dad and all of that. But anyway, yeah, let's just move on from this, huh? Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.